All right, yo, what's up? My name is Patrouski, and today I'm going to be covering the PokeMMO Shiny Wars 2024 feedback thread. And I feel like this is one of the most important things when talking about Shiny Wars. And I feel like if you want to see what high-level players and like endgame players and veterans think about Shiny Wars, and you want to see them have an interesting discussion, I always like hearing people who are experienced in a field talk about something, no matter what that field is. This will be that for PokeMMO and Shiny Hunting and Shiny Wars. For those who don't know, Shiny Wars is a official Shiny Hunting event hosted by the staff in PokeMMO. Not really having anything. The devs are kind of letting them do it, but they're not really putting much time and dedication to it. So it's not affecting anything with raids and stuff like that. But Shiny Wars is an event where people have been Shiny Hunting, their hearts out. Like people have been putting in 1,500 players or so, have been putting in 10 to 16 hours a day, working their best to be the best. And it's been a 2-month event. We're only halfway through, and there's been a lot of things to talk about. So let's go ahead and jump into it. There's a lot of things that could be improved from Shiny Wars, but I think the overall sentiment is going to be that they did a very good job. This being the first, this is the first ever Shiny official event in PokeMMO ever. Over 12, 13 years. Like, it's really, they've done a really amazing job. There are things to improve at, but let's go ahead and actually just jump into what people think. So this is Park, the creator and host of the event. Please use this thread to provide feedback on the PokeMMO Shiny Wars event. You can find the main thread here actually explaining the event, and please keep all discussion here constructive and mature. Any post seen as derailing the purpose of this thread will just be removed. A few things to note beforehand, though. We're aware of the story next time around can be improved upon. We are considerate of this. We'll try to definitely improve on the future versions of Shiny Wars based on what we can control. The story methods are how they are because of the methods that we had to use to verify entries, etc. Rage commented this already and clarified the reason. You can view her post here. Ideally for us, we'd like to make this event accessible for more players going forward. We'll definitely try to do all we can to make this possible next time. I'm surprised how much interest there was from the mass player base in an event like this. And that was, honestly, it'd be cool to see. It'd be cool to see Shiny Wars not just be the Super Bowl for Shiny Hunting, but really a larger event that can encapsulate more people. We're aware that some spots are very strong point-wise, Cryogonal Wars. However, we will try to not make any changes to the current Shiny War. This includes adjusting point yields for specific areas, etc. All right. I think Barrels touches over the main points very succinctly here. But there's also a lot of other well put and well worded, more in-depth feedback we'll get to. But honestly, what Barrels says here probably covers most of the S-tier feedback. And we'll get to more of that in a quick sec here. Shorter event duration is the simplest one. He doesn't really say what, but I think most people agree that 1 month would be the sweet spot. 2 months has been insane. Like grinding. Also for the reward, we'll get that as well. More focus on the rewarding system. Right now, rewards don't feel worth it unless you're first or MVP. This is absolutely true. And I'm okay with the rewards not being kind of like, I'm okay with them not being amazing, but they probably should be. Like maybe I'm being too content. Like I'm okay with the rewards not being amazing, but they probably should be better. When people are putting 800 hours over a 2-month period into something, them possibly not, very likely, not even very likely getting nothing out of it aside the shinies they hunted along the way. Kind of extreme, right? I already mentioned balancing of spots. I know Cryogonal is the big one. So this is XRD, who is a player in Team Mister, who has, I think, some of the most shinies, if not the most shinies in Team Mister. Very talented shunter. Team roster increase. I think 50 players per team is the right amount. Teams with full 150 active players or close to that, it makes it easier to just make 3 teams and not much room for drama. Yeah, fair. Shorter event duration, please. I super agree with this. Storing system ideas. Rotation system. For example, all ×5 Horde shinies worth the same amount of points, but only once. Like if you catch a shiny Magikarp, it's worth 5 points, but if you end up getting a duplicate Magikarp, it's worth less. I really like this. I think stopping duplicate shinies really encourages you to shake up the way you hunt and shakes up the metagame so much. Sitting in Cryogonal Cave for 1 month is not really what I want to do, and it's not really what other people want to do. Going for 20 Cryogonals, that being efficient, is unfortunate, but what are you going to do? Brute force system. Players only allowed to catch the same shiny 3 times. After that, the shiny is going to have a huge nerf for their points, forcing players to shunt elsewhere. The goal of this system is to prevent meta hordes being abused. Yup. Doesn't necessarily need to be active for everything, but I can see it being very good for certain meta spots. Better rewards. Bro, ... What people are going to do with the RP rewards, ... I get what he's saying. Like, it sucks that even if you place top 3, okay? Even if you place top 3, in Shiny Wars, you get 500 RP per person. That doesn't even cover, it covers what, half a month of the, no, not, no, 1/3 of a month of the 30-day donator status that you've purchased 2 of. So it covers 1/6 of the donator that you used during the event. Horrible. This is like if you were to like buy it, you know, imagine like NFL players were to take a plane to go to the Super Bowl stadium, and then even if they won the Super Bowl, they left with like 20% of the earnings from like their plane cost, right? Really bad output for prize. Yeah. Just give second and third place other options of, yes, this is what I talked about. It's a more work for the devs, but I feel like it's deserved. Second and third place should be given a different exclusive vanity. I feel like that's cool. A full set of 3 pieces to blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I think that's very cool. Aquays, the leader of Team Mister, tally and publicly post the team scores every week or so to avoid so much secrecy. The team so they can see how they're doing compared to other teams. Being in the dark for 2 months about team scores and then finding out everything at the end doesn't seem like yeah, I am a big advocate of not giving up, but at the same time, there's a lot of teams like who are super low on points, and it's even more demotivating. They want to give up even more. Like if you don't know the bar, if you don't know who's in first place, it's very difficult to have motivation over a 2-month period when you just have no idea and no metric as to how many points other teams might have about this time. It's very, and also it'll be more inspiring. It will discourage demotivation. It will also encourage motivation. So having a leaderboard will just make things way more competitive, right? That's what that does. Similar point from this guy, published and updated leaderboard. I feel like having a leaderboard is so important for this event. I know they couldn't get it together for this event, but I feel like moving forward in the future, very important. Update in the points format. A good option is the one mentioned by XRD and penalize repeated shinies. Yep. Another option is the points are calculated by type of encounter. This is what Team Mister does. Team Mister does points based on the type of encounter. So any single encounter shiny is worth like 6 points, whether it's a Rapidash, Ponyta, or whatever it may be. Whether it's a Beldum, you know. A double encounter, a horde of 3, a horde of 5, eggs, etc. So people consider doing shiny hunts based on different methods. I honestly think I prefer the species-based one. I know that, and I love Team Mister, and they do it based on, I think having both is nice. I actually really like doing Team Mister Shiny Wars and having the method-based one, and then doing the official one and having the species-based one. I think both have different positives and negatives, and I actually think I prefer sticking to the species-based ones for official wars, but that's an opinion that's very up for debate. Shorter duration. 2 months is insane. 1 month would be good. Yep. Improve the rewards. Okay. We're seeing the same things now at this point over. I'm not going to read through everything in great detail, but yeah, echoing the same feedback. Event is too long. Prizes are lacking. Team size increase. Yep. Scoring system change. Now something interesting. Additional rare swarm spawns. These feedback is pretty self-explanatory, but I think increasing the rare swarm spawns during Shiny Wars would be fun moving forward. I feel like one thing not talked about much at all about Shiny Wars is that they didn't really do anything. I've had so many new players and casual players come in and say, hey, like, what's different in the game during Shiny Wars? And aside from money making, I mean, there are a lot of things in the market and economy that have changed, but if you're not participating in, and even if you are participating, like, there's not really many in-game mechanics that change. There's your play style changed, but your in-game mechanics didn't. I know this might affect the market of some Pokemon and might introduce more rare Pokemon in the game, but I believe the pros out with the cons. I think increasing rare swarm spawns is a very reasonable way to increase excitement, increase rare shinies, but it's very balanced. It wouldn't be too drastic. It's much better than like a flat 20% shiny rate boost or a flat 10% boost. Like I would not want that. But this I'm okay with. It allows people, encourage you to go check more swarms in general, which is already awesome. People don't really check swarms because they're not that worth it a lot of the time. Increasing that encouragement to do so and change locations. Anything that encourages location changing during a 2-month grind is very appreciated by the players. This might be a reach, but having a special horde location, I like this a lot. Or something might be cool. I love this. I love the idea of like, I think this was even mentioned, I guess, during... I would love to see content like Altering Cave utilized more. I've talked about Altering Cave making a comeback. I've talked about Altering Cave being a way to bring in Gen 6 Pokemon, why not also use Altering Cave to bring in like different Pokemon spawns and very efficient shiny hunting spots during Shiny Wars? I feel like Altering Cave is literally like a catch-all piece of content that could constantly be adjusted and changed every month based on what the game needs. If you don't know, Altering Cave is a cave location or a location in game where the spawns change every 6 hours. There's different cycles. So for example, cycle 1 is like 100% Zubat, and then cycle 2 will be like 0.5% Bagon, 3% Stantler, 8% Mawile, etc., etc. Like all these weird niche different spawns. At least they were weird and niche at the time. Now a lot of those have ×5 hordes. Seeing updates and changes to Altering Cave would be amazing. All right, continuing on, I feel like most of this is going to be the same. Shorter event duration, rework of the scoring system, public scoreboard, better rewards. Yeah, all the same things for the most part. Change in game for the duration of the event. Yep. Yeah, I think this is about where I read to last night. I think most things have been touched on this point. So Shirt brought this up. Without having a Shiny War without an official in-game encounter feels weird. I actually really agree with this. This could be interpreted as a general game suggestion, but I believe it has a positive impact on the event. Not for just keep checking encounters, but also to keep players motivated and encouraged, to keep content creators making the best possible content. I actually super do this. Enzo kind of came in and said it should have been put over in the general suggestion box, but I don't know. I actually do think this is relevant here. Maybe I wouldn't normally feel like that, but like I actually feel like bringing that up here is really, yeah, I think an in-game official encounter counter is like super demanded and way more desired by the community than developers realize. Everything the exact same, but with one gym, it's only 1 point of speech for events. Doing this will require teams to communicate and coordinate. This is a little extreme to me. Being only able to catch one shiny of each species for an entire team for points, this is a little extreme to me, because then you have 50 or even like 30 to 50 people or whatever all trying to coordinate. You can't do certain spots. I feel like this would be too limiting to me personally, but there is an interesting discussion there, so I don't want it to like just shoot it down. There is an interesting discussion there, but with something like that, like it would demotivate. Like let's say you have a list of like 10 shinies you really want to go for, and then everyone on your team wants to go for those as well. Like how do you fight over who gets what spots? That, I think that could be really, really drama heavy. Per person, but not per team would not be viable. That's how I feel. Yeah, that's how I feel. But I feel like that's how this is worded. I feel like this is worded as per team because it says require teams to communicate, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I think this forum post is such a gem and a goldmine of information and insight. I love hearing insight from really just experienced people in their fields, and I think this was really cool to cover. So if you want to give your own input and give your own feedback covering Shiny Wars and just go over interesting discussion, this forum will be linked in the description. If you like this style of content, always let me know by liking the video. Dislike if it wasn't your cup of tea. Subscribe to the channel for daily Pokemon videos. I do upload every single day, as well as streaming on Twitch Monday through Friday, usually at 12 p.m. ET, but honestly, whenever I wake up right now during Shiny Wars when I go live. Discord down below, and if you want to go above and beyond and support the content, if my Pokemon content has made it helpful or made your Pokemon experience more enjoyable, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo are super appreciative. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Peace, Reno.